So hi there again everyone, this is again Alan and welcome back to my channel. Today I am very excited because we are finally gonna be reviewing the most requested and the most popular watercolor brand here in the Philippines, no other than the Prang Watercolor. I bought my set in Art Bar during the everything on sale, and the original price is 540 or 10 US dollars, and because it has 5% off, I only bought it for 513 Philippine pesos. This set that I have is not actually the first one that I got because back in college, so that's 12 years ago, I bought my first set and they actually look differently. And I might be able, by the way, to make a comparison video of these two, so please stay tuned to that. And with regards to the performance of Prang, I am actually very satisfied and I have nothing to complain except for the fact that the insects really love to pester the paints themselves and even the painting, so please take note of that. And to flex a little, I'd like to show you some of my works using Prang back in the college days in the architecture school. So now let's take a look at the container. So in front it says here Prang, so that's the brand name. It says here Oval 16, so that's 16 colors, and it's semi-moist watercolors, and it's from Ticonderoga Company since 1795, and I believe this is from Florida, USA, but it's made in Mexico. So behind, there's nothing except for the logo. So let's take a look at the palette inside. So here you can find a mixing area with 5 wells, and here are the 16 colors. And it has a Prang size 6 synthetic brush that we can also use later on. And here are the oval pans, and the oval pans are also placed in a detachable sort of a panel, and each pan can be detached also, so you can rearrange the ovals depending on your preference. So I would like to rearrange my colors according to spectrum. So let's do the rearrangement. So an individual oval pan looks like this, and if you compare it to a full pan from White Knights, I believe they have same capacity. And here is a half pan, so I think it's twice the contents of the full oval pan. So as usual for our swatches and sample painting, I am using Arches 185 watercolor paper, and I am not re-wetting the set prior to painting, to be fair with the other brands that we have reviewed. Anyway, this is semi-moist, so we are not gonna be having a hard time re-wetting the paints. So I believe we are ready to start. So now let's start with white. So they did not provide pigment information, the colors, so I believe that's one clue that the Prang watercolors is not actually student grade but more of a school grade paints. Next we have yellow, next we have yellow orange, next we have orange, next we have red orange. So far the colors are very vibrant and transparent except for white and yellow orange. Next is the red. So I didn't mention what kind of red is this, but it looks like a carmine in the watercolor language. Next we have red violet. And this is also transparent. Next we have violet. And this is very strong. Next is blue violet. Next we have blue. So this is not ultramarine, but more like a cobalt and a Prussian blue, something in between cobalt and Prussian. Next is turquoise. Next we have blue green. Next is green. Next is yellow green. You can see that the yellow green has dried so much because it got cracks on the edges of the oval. Next is brown. Lastly, we have black. And this is really dark and deep. So let's thin a bit with water. So here is the black. So let's take a close-up look on our swatches, and looking at the color selection, you can see that they have included the primary colors, the yellow, the red, and the blue, the secondary colors, the orange, green, and violet, and the colors in between the primary and the secondary, the yellow orange, red violet, blue green, and yellow green. You can see there are 3 or 4 additional colors: the white, the turquoise, the brown, and black. The selection of colors that is based on the color wheel and the lack of the pigment information gives me the idea that the Prang watercolors are intended for school use. Therefore, I can say that these are school grade watercolor paints. And now we are ready to do our sample painting, and with this I'm gonna be using the provided size 6 brush, and for the rest of the video I'm gonna be speeding it up to around 24 times. So if you have any questions, please just comment it down and I'll be answering it as soon as I can. So let's start. So we're now done with our sample painting, and here's a closer look. I used all the colors except for the white, and that's not intentional. I tried mixing the colors that I usually use in making landscape paintings, and I'm actually very satisfied I was able to achieve the colors that I want. Now it's time to compare our Prang watercolors with the other student grade paints that we have tried before. So let's start with the Sonnet watercolors. Intensity wise, I will have to give the point to the Sonnet watercolors because obviously they're more vibrant. Next is the Van Gogh 12+3 half pans. Obviously, the intensity is also much more felt in the Van Gogh watercolors, and with that I'm also giving it the point to the Van Gogh. Next we have Sakura Koi Pocket Filled Sketchbox. Intensity wise, Sakura Koi is a little bit more intense and vibrant, but I will give this time the point to Prang watercolors because the colors are cleaner as compared to the Koi, which has weird granulations. Next we have Winsor Newton Cotman. Intensity wise, they're I think on the same level, but I would have to give the point to Winsor Newton for its transparency and for the fact that they provided pigment information. But the price of Winsor Newton Cotman is almost twice the price of the Prang watercolors. Next is the Reeves watercolors. Reeves watercolors are also very much comparable to Prang when it comes to price, but this time I'd give the point to Prang because the colors also are much cleaner, and the Reeves watercolors are just like the performance of Sakura Koi Pocket Filled Sketchbox, which has weird granulations. And lastly, the Superior watercolors. The prices of these two are very comparable, but this time I'd have to give the point to Superior watercolors because the colors are obviously more intense and vibrant as compared to the Prang watercolors. So, do I recommend the Prang watercolors? Yes, I still strongly recommend Prang watercolors, especially to students who are having art lessons in schools because the colors included here are very much elementary, very much needed in the basics of learning color combinations and color wheel. That is very fundamental. If you want to achieve earth colors, you can experiment, you can mix these colors, and you can easily achieve different earth colors and even grays and blacks. If in time you would like to upgrade, maybe that's the time you can try out some student grade paints or artist grade paints and compare the performance of the Prang watercolors and the other upgrade paints that you will be having. As I've said earlier, I have been using Prang watercolors since I was in the architecture school, and I had no problems at all because the paintings that I did and the plates that I had before using this brand still are surviving up until this moment, as I've shown also earlier, and I'm happy with that. And that is because I was able to keep them away from insects, because here's again a reminder: the insects, roaches, ants love Prang watercolors, the paints and the paintings made out of it. So please safeguard your artworks and your paints from insects and also the other brands, because they can be also a target to infestations, especially if they are placed in one place. So that's my main tip in using the Prang watercolors. So again, I hope you got something. If you have questions, recommendations, suggestions, criticisms, just comment it down the comment box and I will be trying to respond as soon as I am available. So don't forget to like this video, share this video to support this channel and to help it grow. If you are not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, and see you again next week. Again, thank you for watching.